Hello everyone, welcome to the topic of serotonin. Unlike the other sections of dopamine and acetylcholine and norepinephrine, I have not got into the details of the drugs over there which affects the various receptors. But here I will try to cover all the antidepressants because I want to show you how to remember or how to memorize the receptor profile of different antidepressants in a very crisp and concise format. There are certain shortcuts and techniques, we will get into that. But before that, let's talk about serotonin. And this lecture will be a bit comprehensive because although it will follow the same format as the others, we will start with anatomy and location, then we'll move towards synthesis, then we will talk about the metabolism, we will go into the receptor profile, which is the most important part of serotonin, and then we will be talking about the antidepressants, like how mainly the SSRIs and all those work as per stalls. And after that, we will try to, in a separate lecture, if possible, I will try to compile the how serotonin is affecting all the other neurotransmitter systems, like how serotonin, each receptor is involved in the formation of, as to how each receptors are concerned of with the secretion of norepinephrine, dopamine, glutamate, and how they are basically connected. I want to show that in a separate lecture altogether. But here mainly we will discuss about the neurochemistry and the receptor profile of serotonin in details with the drugs. So please bear with me and write with me, and as I write, then I will also explain alongside. Okay. So serotonin. So the first point, as always, is anatomy and location. So the anatomy and location of serotonin is coming as, so where is it mainly located? It is found in the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. We all know that there are many serotonergic systems outside of the central nervous system, like the gastric tract, in the genital region, because as you know that SSRIs can cause sexual dysfunction. Then again, serotonin is there in the intrinsic neural circuit of the stomach, as well as in many other places also. So we'll get into them one by one. And along with CNS and the peripheral nervous system, it is also found in platelets. This is very important for us, that serotonin being found in platelets, because again, we know that there is risk of bleeding increases when we give any SSRIs, right? So serotonin is found in platelets. That's the clinical importance. There are various guidelines which says which SSRIs are better in patients who have bleeding disorders, right? And then it is found in the, along with platelets, it is also found in the enterochromaffin like cells, enterochromaffin like cells, and mast cells. Okay, this part is clear. Now, more than 80% of serotonin, 5-HT, I will refer to always whenever I will be writing serotonin, I will be referring to as 5-HT. Okay, so more than 80% of serotonin is in gastrointestinal tract, GIT. More than 80% is in the GIT, and it modulates motility and gastric function. Okay, fine. Next is, in the brain, 1 in 1 million neurons. Some interesting facts and figures over here. Please remember, in the brain, 1 in 1 million neurons produce serotonin. 1 in 1 million neurons produce serotonin. Okay. Next point is, although 1 in 1 million of neurons in the CNS produce serotonin, still it has got severe modulatory effect on various neurochemicals due to its wide and extensive innervation and connections, mainly circuitry. Okay. Next is, there is a wider distribution because of these numerous connections. There is a wider distribution and vast areas, vast areas of physiological and pathological. Similarly, I am writing it in red, pathological functions. Okay. Now coming to the location. So, the cell bodies of serotonin are clustered in multiple midline raphe of brainstem. Okay. So what are the multiple mid areas in the where it is present? So it is, so what are the multiple areas where it is present? So first one is the caudal raphe nuclei. Caudal raphe nuclei. So what does the caudal raphe nuclei do? It will send multiple descending projections, send multiple descending projections to medulla or spinal cord. Okay. Medulla, spinal cord, or cerebellum. Right. Next is that it is involved in pain control as well as, since it is going to the spinal cord, the autonomic nervous system and motor regulation. There is ANS and motor regulation because cerebellum is there, spinal cord is there, medulla is there. So autonomic, motor and pain control through its action on the spinal cord. Next we have more rostrally located dorsal and median raphe nuclei. More rostrally located dorsal and median raphe nuclei. Now they send ascending axonal projections. So previous one was descending and this one is, that is caudal one, descending. Dorsal and the median, they send ascending axonal projections to rest of the brain. Okay. And median raphe, which is there, it is the most of serotonergic fibers that innervate the limbic system. Please write this in capitals, limbic system, which means that the projections from the medial raphe or the median raphe will innervate the limbic system maximally. Okay. Next we have the dorsal raphe. So what is the dorsal raphe doing? The dorsal raphe is involved in two pathways. First pathway is the cerebral cortex, thalamus, and striatum. Cerebral cortex, thalamus, and striatum. While the other pathway will go to the dopaminergic neurons in substantia nigra, SN for substantia nigra, and the VTA, there is a ventral tegmental area. So, as you can see that it is connected to the dopaminergic neurons, so it can modulate the dopaminergic areas. Okay, it is connected to the limbic system, so it has got widespread connections. It is connected to the cortex, cerebral cortex. As we know, there are other so many structures are there. It is connected to the thalamus, and so you can see the widespread variation of coverage that the serotonin fibers have. Okay. Now, one more thing is that the more rostrally located dorsal and the median Raphe nuclei. This was the caudal Raphe nuclei that you talked about, and here we have the dorsal and the median Raphe nuclei. So, what do we have over here? So, if we talk about the functions, we will find that the rostral serotonergic fibers have modulatory role in mood, anxiety, aggression, cognition, feeding, then the sleep wake cycle, and sexual behavior. So, since we are talking about the anatomy and the function, the anatomy part is clear, I guess, till now, and the functions also I have mentioned that the plethora of roles, both physiological and if disturbed then pathological role that is played by serotonin, that is the modulatory effects. Okay, next. So interestingly, we find that the dorsal raphe, what we have is the dorsal raphe 5-HT, the serotonergic fibers, and we also have the median raphe serotonergic fibers, but there is a difference in them. So, this one is very fine and has small vesicle coated swelling called varicosities. Okay, varicosities, which gives them a fusiform, which means spindle shaped or granular in appearance. With the median raphe, they have thicker fibers, they're not fine, and they have large varicosities due to spherical vesicles. Okay, next. Now, this ratio will vary considerably. How will this ratio vary? That is, the dorsal raphe will have a different set of connections, while the median raphe will have a different set of connections. Okay, dorsal raphe will have a different set of connections, while the median raphe will have a different set of connections. So, dorsal raphe, as we have already talked before, dorsal raphe will go to the thalamus, striatum, and dopaminergic cell bodies in midbrain, while the median Raphe will go to hypothalamus, hippocampus, and septum. Okay, in varying ratios. Another point is that there is extensive overlap in the cortex of these fibers. And what is the result of that? Suppose someone is taking MDMA, psychostimulant, this will cause more, this signs for damage to fine dorsal Raphe fibers than the median Raphe thicker fibers. Okay.